Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all very well. Welcome to my film and TV channel. And today we have a film review, and it's an Australian film today. Directed by Stephen Maxwell Johnson. It's took him a long while to get this one to the screen. We'll a bit more on that later on. Yeah, it's an action thriller and it's called High Ground. Please, if you're new to the channel, please push that subscribe button, push the bell notification when these vlogs are coming out. Make sure your notifications are set to public and just check those playlists there. I was aiming for 500 subscribers by Christmas 2020. We've just crawled over that, so more the merrier. If you're new to it, please press that subscription button. Check all my playlists for movie, TV, drama reviews, looking at posters, all different things on there, even quizzes, and you will see some football ones as well for my football team, Manchester City. If that's of any interest to you, or perhaps anyone you know, please point them in my direction. I will be very grateful. Right, please, all comments, any comments on this film or anything you want, just let me know you're out there. Just a comment and I'll try and answer if it needs an answer. If it doesn't need an answer, I'll give it a thumbs up, and of course if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Right, The High Ground, an hour and 44 minutes, about 104 minutes, run time about 95 minutes. Yeah, an action thriller. Yeah, the story about it, what's it about? Well, after fighting in World War I as a sniper, Travis, now a policeman in northern Australia, loses control of an operation that results in the massacre of an Aboriginal Australian tribe in 1999. Yeah, so it is based on a true event. After his superiors insist on burying the truth, Travis leaves in disgust, only to be forced back 12 years later to hunt down BOYEGA, an Aboriginal warrior whose attacks on new settlers are causing havoc. When Travis recruits mission-raised Gutjuk, the only known massacre survivor, as his tracker, the truth of the past is revealed and Travis becomes the hunted. Yeah, the film was shot in location in the Kakadu National Park and in Arnhem Land, Northern Territory, Australia, so it's all authentically done. Stars Simon Baker, Jacob Jr., JINGLE, Jack Thompson, Karen Pistorius and Callan Mulvey. How's it doing? Well, Hollywood Reporter, they're the only people to actually do a critique on it at the moment. That obviously I do use Hollywood Reports from time to time, and they wrote the following: High Ground is a very impressive package overall, a visually ravishing and commendably nuanced frontier saga with a timely anti-racist message, all told through an Australian historical lens. Cinematographer Andrew Commis is a key asset here, capturing the sumptuous colours, abundant wildlife and towering rock formations of the Kakadu National Park locations with majestic aerial drone shots. Sound design and music also play a crucial role, with Marika and his son Yermal singing Yolngu songs over a rich tapestry of birdsong and ambient wilderness sounds. Yeah, please forgive me if I got to pronouncing anything wrong with this. Yeah, so that's obviously quite high praise from Hollywood Reporter. Internet Movie Database. Some people have watched this. It actually has been around for a while. Actually, it was at a couple of festivals early in the year, even though it's not officially been released even in Australia as yet. But we've had 224 scores and reviews left on Internet Movie Database, which is Joe Public, you and me, and it's getting 5.9 out of 10, so just below that watchable rating, which is a little bit disappointing when you just read what I've just read. That Hollywood Reporter review was quite sumptuous, wasn't it? Quite glowing about it. Just a couple of the headlines on Internet Movie Database. There's not many reviews been left. Obviously, there is a political lean into this thing, and obviously a couple of the comments are a bit politically motivated, so I tend to ignore that sort of stuff anyway. Someone said it's a simple story in astonishing surroundings, and someone else said down in brackets under and dirty. So yeah, there you go. My little thoughts on this, Bernard's thoughts on behalf of MGN. I mean, yes, it is another story, let's face it, of bad white imperialists killing the native population willy-nilly, with the odd okayish white man and white woman thrown in just for good measure. So yeah, it's not going to be, as I said, it gets political. People get a bit upset about these things. I mean, you know, it's not to everyone's taste. It is, and it does not apologise for being a salutary study of revenge and forgiveness. It reminds us of the savagery that modern-day Australia is built upon. Of course it is. I mean, absolutely true. I mean, I like history, as you know. I like my football history. I like my real-life history. I'm well aware of the good and the bad, and there's nothing wrong with this form of film. And to me, it's entertainment at the end of the day. I watch this to be entertained as well, and that's what it is. It's a revenge thriller, basically, and despite the historical background, it does follow a tried and trusted formula, even though obviously it's based on a true event. It is quite formulaic in its revenge thriller sort of style. I watched this year, or early this year, and you may have watched it yourselves, The Nightingale, which is another Australian-based thing. On Internet Movie Database, it's getting 7.3 out of 10, The Nightingale. That's its score at the moment, and that's quite consistent. It was a very, very good film, and that was one of my sort of liked movies of the year, and this in a way is quite similar. Obviously, obviously not just the Australian links, but the style of film as well. And I think if you enjoyed The Nightingale, which could be very, very graphic, I mean, this is graphic, but not quite as graphic as The Nightingale. It doesn't pull any punches, The Nightingale. So I think if you like The Nightingale, this is a bit more of the same, but as I said, not quite as graphic, and perhaps not as fast-paced either. This is a little bit more wordy, a little bit more verbal as well, and it's obviously subtitled as well, because there's a lot in the Aboriginal language that they're speaking. So there's an element of that, probably only about 20-30% of the film, but that does put some people off, doesn't it? I mean, this movie, I suppose, The Nightingale did to some extent, but this movie does get a little bit bogged down at times in the 95 minutes running, and even though the kill count rises as the thing goes on, it becomes more bits of action without the thriller element for me. It lost that sort of thriller element to it, which it should have had really for such a, because if you just look at the basic story, it's a fantastic story. It's really interesting. How much poetic license and license have they used, I have no idea, but the actual base for the story is very good. I mean, the cinematography, as mentioned before by the Hollywood Reporter, is brilliant, and the acting's okay. I mean, obviously the lead actor, I'm not going to repronounce his name there, is very, very good. I mean, but there's some okay-ish acting, but there's some very good acting as well. I mean, this is only Johnson's, as I said, the guy who put this together, second feature in almost 20 years. And they do say it was partly because it took years of negotiation with the indigenous communities to earn their trust and cooperation to do this film in the first place. I mean, there's an army of Aboriginal actors in it. Musicians, clan elders and traditional land custodians feature in this and in the film's credits. So yeah, it took him a while to get this all together. So Johnson and his team do take a lot of effort to balance the narrative viewpoint in this high ground between European settler and the Aboriginal characters. As I say, there's good and bad, although obviously the European settlers are mostly bad, unfortunately, but there are one or two good ones. And there are lots of scenes that showcase the local Yolngu languages and customs, as I said, which make up about 20 or 30% of the film. So that's why it perhaps gets a little bit verbal, a little bit bogged down, because it is trying to give full credit to the actual what we're talking about in this film. So as a result of that, I think we have an okay watchable film, not a great film, which is a shame. Again, budget limitations, etc., and actually try and staying true to the original and using real Aboriginal sort of scenes and actors, etc., obviously do water the quality just a little bit, even though scenery wise it's fantastic, but acting wise and storytelling wise it does get watered down just a little bit. So in my view, it is a okay watchable film, not a patch on Nightingale. I thought The Nightingale was very vicious, very horrible, very, very watchable, very watchable. This is sort of watchable, but not a great film, which is a shame, because it's an interesting story. I would have liked to. I'm going to certainly, another one of those where I'm going to go away and read up on it and find out a little bit more about it, which is always good if you get a film like that, that makes you want to go and find out something. So my little rating for this, yeah, I'm going to be a little bit better than Internet Movie Database, because they're only giving it 5.9. So yeah, I'm going to give it 6. Yeah, I'm going to give it my basic watchable rating, 6 out of 10. Certainly, if you've watched The Nightingale and you like it, then you probably will like this. But as I said, it's not quite as good as The Nightingale. And if you otherwise, yeah, give it a try. The poster, Yeah, the poster's alright. I mean, it is, again, it's what it is on the tin, isn't it? It's what's in the film, so I like it. I'm not gonna give the poster any less or more than the film. I'll give the poster a 6 out of 10 as well. So I'll make it a draw today in my little poster versus the movie battle that we have on these reviews. So MGN film rating 6 out of 10. And the poster rating, yeah, 6 out of 10 as well. I certainly wouldn't mind it up in the background of me there. That's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think if you get to watch this, or you fancy watching it. Let me know what you think of it. Anyway, please check my links on screen. If you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back on there. Please, if you actually check all the playlists and have a quick look round, there's lots of stuff on there. Say there's the odd quiz and stuff like that as well. And you can check out my website, moviegamenostalgia.com. I used to have a video shop in the 90s and 2000s, so still sell old and rare DVDs now that are hard to get here, certainly here in the UK. Posters from the 90s and 2000s, some great actors, some great films, and even some board games on there as well. So if you get a chance to have a look at moviegamenostalgia.com, I will be very appreciative. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Please, whatever you're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Until we meet again here on my little film and TV channel, or perhaps you flit over to my football channel, the Citizen channel, on everything Manchester City. That'd be fantastic. But until then, please, stay safe, everyone. Bernard saying goodbye for now.